When I started researching this speech, I knew I wanted to do it on something that interested me, and hopefully something that would interest you. Hi, my name is Cody, and I'm going to be talking about Earthships today. You might be thinking of some spaceship hurtling through space, or perhaps a cruise liner or a floating island, or something like that, but an Earthship is none of those things. What it can do for you is reignite your inner child. It can spark your creativity and satisfy your lust for nature and a desire we have to be united with our Mother Earth. Or more simply put, it's a home built of natural materials that anyone can build. It can be as simple or as complex as you, the builder, need it to be. Third world countries, limited resources. It can be small, efficient, or it can be a mansion of sorts. So let's start at the beginning. Michael Reynolds is the creator of this type of architecture that he deemed Earthship. He used discarded materials to create a sustainable home, and using materials that are natural in the surrounding environment and also waste. Tires are a big building block. So he graduated from University of Cincinnati in 1969, and he immediately began his work. He had an epiphany one day where he realized that anything could really be used to build these homes, and that's when he decided to call it Earthships. And he was using feed bags and tires filled with earth, and these would create thermal and structural walls. Beer cans were wired together for bricks. Soda bottles could trap air and be encased in clay and a straw mixture called adobe to create interior walls. These houses are designed to be constructed of the waste that is created where they're to be built. So each one is very unique with some similar design factors that I'll get into here in a minute. Mike had some highs and lows throughout his career while he perfected his Earthships. He was also battling lawyers and unhappy clients of the earlier versions, where the methods he was using were really untried at the time, and so therefore unproven, and some of the houses leaked, and since then he was able to refine his methods, and now they're some of the most sustainable homes that one could have. His seed was planted, and today, like I said, they're some of the most sustainable buildings. An Earthship is defined by the following 6 principles. It has to be thermal and / solar heated and cooled. Solar wind electricity, contained sewage treatment, and built with natural materials from the surrounding areas. Should harvest its own water and food producing. So the thermal solar heating and cooling, under the frost line about 4 feet deep, this whole berm right here is south facing, which is ideal for an Earthship. So 4 feet under here, the Earth's temperature is about 58 degrees. And so what they do is they'll build them into a slope like this using the tires, and I'll get to some pictures later. And then they'll have big windows on this side to capture the winter gain, the sun. An Earthship in Calgary, Canada reported temps of 64 degrees inside when it was -1 outside in November. It's pretty amazing with no extra heat or anything, just using the sun and these principles here. So solar and wind facing south, it's easy to create an area to mount solar panels on, and you can either be grid tied if you're near a grid. A lot of these homes are off grid, so they can use battery banks for that. Once in a while, if you're in an area where wind would be good, yeah, you can use wind turbines. Mostly it's solar though. The sewage treatment. So these buildings typically collect the rainwater and snow melt, and they go through cisterns and then held in big tanks, which are then gravity fed through filters and then to a pump that goes to a pressurized tank, which supplies your taps. And these taps, once the water goes through there, it goes through a botanical cell. So the water will go through the tap, shower, bath, washing dishes, and then it goes through another tank, then to a botanical cell where your food producing uses the water and cleans it up a little bit, and then from there to a toilet. And then from the toilet it goes to another tank outside that's warmed to help the process of breaking down solids happen even faster. And then it goes to an external botanical cell, which is also food producing, or flowers, whatever. And then from there it goes to a drain field. And these are all built up to code. You can build one anywhere. The building blocks, like I said, are rammed earth encased in steel belted rubber tires. Because of the way they're designed, they can withstand earthquakes, and they're thermal materials, meaning they absorb the sun's energy and then radiate it back throughout the night when the sun's not shining any longer. And because of the low-tech materials, almost anyone can build these out of materials around them, which I think is really cool, especially hurricane affected areas, natural disasters. These things can be built quickly with a lot of manpower, but with limited resources. And like I said, they produce their own food, and many people are successful in growing them. They're basically a greenhouse, so you can grow a lot of things that you can't grow outside of them, since the temperatures are stable year-round. So let's go inside. I'm going to stop the video because we got to go inside and use the TV. I'm going to try and show you some pictures real quick. So we'll be back in a minute.